Everybody has a podcast.
Hey, hello, everybody. Oh, 9:33, everyone. Oh, what a great Monday night. Hope all you're doing well. Hope all you had a good weekend. Looks like a little cool down in the weather, kind of. Or I think it's gonna be this week. Maybe later on. That I don't know. But I'm glad it's another Monday night. Glad we're back again talking stuff, and yeah, fun times, everyone.
Hey, Wiggy, take out the trash!
Fun times indeed, Grant Mills. Good to hear your voice. Happy Monday to everybody out there in podcast land. It was a good weekend, man. Kind of relaxing, like you said. The weather feels good. Yeah, it went by as always too fast. This weekend coming up, I've got a 3-day weekend. Friday off. Big Saturday. We'll talk about that a little later with some football, some maybe hanging out, maybe camping out, maybe some cool weather. Grant Mills, you know what happened this afternoon? I went to pick up the kids from school, and my car wouldn't start. The battery had died. And that's a shitty feeling. I hate that. I don't know why I had to tell you that. Yeah, in the new car, man, the battery was the original one from when it left the factory in 2018, 2019. So it definitely got its money worth. Um, and I had the truck, obviously, as a backup. So I went and bought a new battery. But man, dude, $288. Oh,
Whoa,
yeah.
man, you got that gold diehard.
I got the good one, man. This one's got a weird, unique battery, and I was pricing them out. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go grab one down at the parts store down here. Went down there, grabbed it, and yeah, way too much. But you know what? That's what happens. Car ownership, home ownership, you got to be prepared. So, besides that, it was an otherwise slow Monday. Didn't do too much work. I always like to dip my toe into the work week on Mondays, and I kind of dip my toe out on Fridays and try to sandwich all the important stuff in between. That being said, Grant Mills, how are you? How was your weekend? Chilling? Any big plans? Anything exciting happen? What did you get into?
So out of football watching, my friend.
Yeah,
That's about all I did, man. A lot of games and yeah, man, just hung out. What about you?
yeah. Honestly, the same. Not too much going on this weekend. Daughter had a cheer competition yesterday. My days run together. Yeah, yesterday. So had that, and then really just stuff to do around the house. Believe it or not, I actually cut grass on Saturday in the middle of November.
Hmm.
Hasn't died yet, man. It has not gone dormant. This weather, fuck. I know we sound like two old coot men, but I mean, dude, it's aggravating. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's still too too hot. I think I'm in the damn 80s today. It looks like it's just gonna cool down later on this weekend into next week.
yeah.
Or this
Hopefully,
weekend it should be in the 50s, 60s, 50s.
yeah, this weekend looks pretty pleasant, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since we've done a field tailgate hangout. Trying to prep for that. I'm looking forward to that day. The weather should be nice. I've got some heaters, stuff like that, if we need those later in the evening, man. But I hope for some nice, cool weather just to get away from it all, even for a couple of hours. Watch some football. I've got word that my friend Chuckles may actually bring his projector and a big inflatable screen down there, so we might try that out for a game or two. So that could be a game changer. That could be cool.
Sweet.
Sweet stuff. We also need to try to convince Jarvis Beavers to drive up for the weekend. I don't think that would happen, but always good to see him.
I don't think that would happen either, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. We'll hold our breaths.
I don't have breasts.
Breast. I said it
No,
wrong. But a
no.
breast. Breath. I can't say my ths.
Texans 20, Cowboys 10. I think we both picked the Texans here. Come on, who the hell has picked the Cowboys tonight?
Yeah, I actually still going over picks. We have you and I both picked Houston. The over under on that one. Let me see what it was. I've got my screens pulled up. I think they're already over. No, the over under is 42. Is that right? I think it's 42. I think they'll go over. Yeah. Well, over under is 41 and a half. So, yeah, we still got a quarter to go. Whis picked Dallas. Good pick.
Yeah, they suck.
They're terrible. What do you think is going to happen with them? I was watching a little pregame show. They're going to go get a new coach this year at the end of the season.
They need to. I need to get a new quarterback. I need to just clear out that quarterback room.
Yeah. Who would be the next? What about the quarter in the draft? Who's already high up in 2025 draft? Who's going to be some early baller or buster predictions? Jalen Milroe going to be a bust, so I'm going to go ahead and put that out there.
I don't know, man. Maybe Cam Ward.
Cam Ward's pretty sharp.
I don't know. Those guys are so weird. Like you could get somebody from like Middle Tennessee State or something that'll be a superstar, or a lot of the guys that come out of the big programs, sometimes they don't always work out, even though they get good in college. So
Yeah, I mean, I can see how people slip through the radars on that. It's there's so many colleges, man. There's so many scouts. There's so many recruits, and development is a weird thing. You can get some guy out of high school that was a not even a 1-star, 2-star, not even rated anything, and he's just becomes a stud. You don't see that much. Usually the 5 stars work out, but then you get 5 stars that do well in college, and then they just completely trash in the NFL. And then you get 5 stars in college that completely just sink shit, man. DJ Ugalele is one of them. He is just what happened.
yeah, he fell off. I don't know.
Yeah, I think some people, man, it's just different game, man, different recruiting assessments, things like that. So definitely weird how that works out. Just because you're good, I think the only person I've ever seen, there's many, but the one that comes to mind, I should say, not the only one I've ever seen, but the one that immediately comes to mind that's just dominant at every level he's played is Derrick Henry. I mean, just a
Oh yeah,
monster. Yeah, high school state records, Bama, Heisman, NFL. I mean, what a career. Still playing. I mean, at 32, is he 32, 31, something like that?
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he's early 30s. I know that. I mean, he's still jacked, still doing big things. So, yeah, he's a legendary player at all levels. So, Bo Nix actually was pretty solid yesterday. Did you see that? Denver and ATL?
I saw the highlights. Yeah, he did do pretty well.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I had a Denver on my pick yesterday. I actually had the under on that, and they were under, so not a bad pick on that one. My other ones, we'll talk about it later.
He should have did well. He spent 10 years in college.
Man, Auburn lost on that one. I think he was good, man. I just don't think I think he had to find the right system, and I think he did pretty well at Oregon. Pretty solid. He took his time. Obviously, he was there 50 years. So, but Auburn, man, God, they know how to just throw away good players.
Yeah, they had a shit coach, and I don't know. It's so many things to deal with on the coordinators and all that kind of shit. So it is what it is. But
What it do?
um, man, some fucking games this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm glad Tennessee lost.
man. Yeah, you had the Georgia pick. I actually went Tennessee on that one.
Yeah, and Bama won, of course, so that's good.
Yeah, Colorado won. They probably have a lot to say about that. It's gonna be a weird SEC lineup, and I was looking at the variables on how you get to the SEC championship. Which at this point, do you really want to be in the SEC championship?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And if someone gets injured in that game, that would really be a pisser.
I don't think if you're a college football playoff pollster or your ranking, let's say Alabama, or even say Georgia. I mean, either of the two lost teams plays Texas and they lose. If they play them close and it's a good game, I don't think you can kick them out of the top 12. I mean, they're playing an extra game for the most part. It's a weird variable. But then Alabama has to. I think what was it? Missouri has to beat at least one of their last two opponents, and then Alabama just wins out, and then they're in. But there's so many weird domino effects. I don't think Alabama will have trouble with Oklahoma. I hate saying it. I think I could see them struggling in the Iron Bowl just because Auburn brings it, and for some reason, at the end of the season, they start finding their footing. And this weekend, obviously not a great team, but dude, they look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, so many strange things that could happen. And you have Auburn that doesn't have really anything to play for except to knock off Alabama. That's
Yeah, that's it.
dangerous. So, um,
Yeah.
I always hate that game. You could always seem like you're just gonna really steamroll an Auburn team, but man,
I hate it too. As a kid, I used to get stressed out about it because I hate Auburn, but they bring it because, especially this year, I think they'll likely be playing for. Who do they have? They have Texas A&M this week. We have actually a lot of good games coming up this week. This is actually a great weekend to get together with the homies and watch some football because, man, there are a lot of good football games. Uh, weather looks good. Man, I am beyond thrilled about that. I think they have Texas A&M this weekend. I don't think they'll win that game. So that said, if they do, they can. I mean, they could still knock. They could still somehow beat A&M and then somehow miraculously beat Alabama and have a 6-win season with an Alabama victory. They would call that a successful season.
let me ask you this: what do you think Auburn's record would be if they picked up Cam Ward in the transfer portal this past season?
Ooh. They would have beat Oklahoma for sure because that was all Peyton Thorne, so they would have at least one extra win. Let's go back. Let's look at their schedule and see because most of the games were. I mean, Vanderbilt was 17-14 if I remember correctly, and I think they actually played well that game. Vandy's been pretty stout this year. Obviously we're not going to let them say they're not. They knocked off Alabama. They're a good team, but I think they had Cam Ward. Auburn lost to California. Cal. That was the open the season. I think they would have won that game with Cam Ward. They lost to Arkansas. Lost to Oklahoma. See, 3 wins. I don't think they'd beat Georgia. That's not even a close game. They lost to Missouri. Most of their games that they lost were pretty close. I mean, I honestly think you could probably add. Let's be realistic about this. They had let's see, where the hell's the schedule at? I just lost it. Yeah, Cal, that's a touchdown game. I think they win that one with Cam Ward. Same with Arkansas's a 2 touchdown 10-point game. I'm not going to say that one. I'm going to say if it's a possession or less. So Cal, Oklahoma for sure. And I've watched that whole game. That was absolutely a Peyton Thorne game. Missouri, 4 points. 3. Vanderbilt, it's 2 possessions. I'm not going to say they would have won that one. I'd say at least 3. I mean, I think they'd have 6 wins, maybe 7 right now. You think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, 7-5 bowl game.
Yeah, I think so, and I think they have a good chance to beat Alabama and A&M this weekend. I don't put anything off at Jordan Hare, man. They're at Jordan Hare this weekend with 15 Texas A&M rolling into town, a night game, so that'll be a fun one to watch. 6:30 as well. Maybe we can run 2 screens at a time because Bama's also a night game. I think if they would have somehow got somebody like Cam Ward, for sure, man. I think Peyton Thorne is just horrible. I think they're finding their offense right now because Jarquez Hunter is a very, very good running back. I watched him last season and big fan of his. I think he's a beast to watch. He's a fantastic running back. I think they're utilizing him more and figuring out what they can do with Peyton Thorne. And we can shit on Auburn for that, man, but that's what Alabama's had to do with Jalen Milroe. You got to keep adjusting to their strengths until you get that fine tuning just right, and they look like a good quarterback, even if they're not. Play to their strengths. Try to limit how many plays you have to use their weaknesses on, and I think they're finding their footing right now. So interesting times, man. SEC is very weird this year.
Oh, SEC.
Real trap shit.
What up, yeah?
What up, Whis?
What's up?
Oh, God. Y'all see that dumbass fight really sucked?
Oh, God, I forgot.
Damn, dude.
Oh yeah, man, that was a weird fight, dude. I knew that was a scam to begin with, though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. Did you actually watch it?
Did I watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have
unfortunately.
Netflix, so was y'all shit fucking up?
Oh yeah, all night. I could not figure it out. I thought it was just our internet, and then I saw people making fun of it. But yeah, man, I knew it was a glorified sparring match, and I think the saddest thing about it, people hate Jake Paul, man, but he's doing something right. People tune in to watch him fight. He knows how to market himself. Um, I mean, in real wrestling terms, real life, he's a real life heel. People want to watch him get knocked the fuck out. He picks his fights right, dude. He if he gets the shit beat out of him by a really talented boxer, and he would, the money making machine is over. He made like 40 million on that fight. 40 million fucking dollars. Mike Tyson made 20 million for really sparring. Nobody got hurt. Nobody did anything. It was boring to watch. The worst part about it, though, man, that was one more chip of nostalgia just gone, man. That's another part of your 80s and 90s gone. You know, I have a cousin. She's an older cousin of mine and quite out of shape. She was like, "Why is Mike Tyson not putting up his hands? Where's the heavy-handed Mike Tyson? Where the fuck is he? 1993, dude. I mean, that's 30 fucking years ago. What the hell do you think happened to him? He got old. He's been fighting. He was in the hospital this summer. That's what happens to all of us. Like they say, Father Time undefeated. But I mean, yeah, I mean, dude, it's one of those things, man. They got us. I mean, every time they got us. So whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't gonna get Netflix to watch it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I already had Netflix. I would not have gotten Netflix if I didn't have it already. So it definitely was not worth that. But again, man, I mean, hats off to Jake Paul. He knows how to market himself. He knows how to market these bullshit fights. He knows how to be dislikable, unlikable, whatever the word is, uh, insufferable, unsufferable. And people want to watch him get knocked out. He's going to pick fighters that are not going to knock him out, but fighters that have a name behind them. So people tune in to think they have a chance. But it was. I agree with what Mike Tyson said. He said it's a win for him because he had some health concerns, blood transfusions, whatever, back in the summer. And really, dude, hats off to him. 58 is old, but I mean, it's understanding. I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole too long because, dude, we got a podcast to do. But there's a lot of differences. People always say, when an athlete's washed up, oh man, he's washed up. He's 30, he's 35. And for somebody, that's in fitness, I would even say myself at 41, I feel fantastic. But you got to understand, these guys have not only trained. I train. I don't actually fight. I don't actually go and take a sack. I don't actually take blows to the face. I don't actually cut weight, things like that. So you will see guys that are really in shape and move really well at 58. They've never put themselves through that type of regimen, man, that these athletes do. You look at football players, man, CTE, broken bones, bad knees. Can you imagine being like an offensive lineman, for example, for 10 years? I mean, dude, you're getting in a mini car crash every play. I couldn't do it, man. That's why people look at him at like 58. Well, wasn't this guy an athlete? Yeah, dude, he beat the shit out of himself for your entertainment for a decade. Mike Tyson for 20 years. So you're wondering where their power's gone? One, they're old. Two, they beat the shit out of themselves for 2 decades, and now they feel and look like shit.
That's a real man's game, y'all.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, have you seen Ronnie Coleman these days?
Oh man, terrible, and it's sad, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, you cannot, dude. He was a genetic freak. I think, Ronnie's sad, man. I think Arnold and that golden generation was the last that was able to maintain a decent. Some of them can, but some of the best. I don't know. Then again, I take that back. Jay Cutler still looks pretty good and he moves really well, but he was always emphasizing really, health and not doing the heavy weights, man. Ronnie Coleman lifted like a beast. There's a point where heavy is too heavy. And lifting 715 pounds on deadlifts for your training, man, is unrealistic. Your back gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Go lift 715, Grant Mills.
Granddad. Those guys, they come off the juice, man. They don't. They look pretty shitty.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that whole thing. Maybe if you want to be a bodybuilder and compete, maybe, but I don't get it, man. Those guys, man. You take all these roids and shit to try to get juice, and you might, but and then it might turn you into a monster, or you got acne all over your fucking body, and then you look like a fucking freakazoid. Balls shrink up. You got all kind of health issues now. You're gonna have a heart attack at fucking 30 something.
Yeah, it's not worth the body. And man, I'm not a huge fan of anything that's judged subjectively, anyways. I talk to my daughters about that because, like, in cheer competitions and gymnastics, at the end of the day, man, it's hard to always agree with anything a judge is going to do. That's why, like in jiu-jitsu or MMA or boxing, coaches, one of the things they're always going to say is never leave it up to the judges. Um, don't let them, basically meaning you knock them out. So there's no ifs, ands, and buts whether you won or not. And with bodybuilding, man, I mean, I think that's even more crucial. My point was, can you imagine, that strict of diet, that heavy of steroids, heavy lifting, dehydration, pissing pure neon yellow, thirsty, trying to get your skin cut, and weighing your food, all this, and then you come in like second or third because a judge thinks one guy has a better double front bicep pose than you. And you're gonna be pissed about that, man. I mean, it's a hard thing to if there was an objective way to measure that and say that maybe that's worth it, but man, just to go up there and have somebody opine on you, give their opinion on, I don't like that. Maybe that's just me, but
Definitely, I don't get it. I mean, I get it if you want to look good, I guess, but some of those guys go crazy. Like, what's the young guy, John Skywalker or something? He's in the hospital for all kind of shit.
yeah,
Looking like
somebody like
20 something. I don't know. Like, what do you? But he was stupid. He was doing all that shit like Tren and
yeah. I mean,
stacking a bunch of shit and doing a bunch of drugs, like cocaine and shit. And that's fucking pretty bad. You can't do that. If
no,
you're gonna,
you
if you're gonna juice and do all that shit, don't do any drugs. Like that's really numb.
yeah, you can't do that when you're bodybuilding on those types of drugs. And people don't understand too the danger of being that heavy. Uh, obesity gets a bad rap, rightfully so, but bodybuilding, I mean, if you're lean at 270, your heart's still having to pump blood through 270 pounds, lean or not. That's still a lot of stress on your heart. And that's why you see a lot of those guys die really early. The steroids obviously contribute, but when you're walking around all the time at, in the off season up to 300 plus pounds, and then even cutting, you're still 270, man. That's awful. I don't think it looks good, man. I think the natural guys, or the guys that do the classic physique now is what they call it, have builds that if I was actually going to ever compete, I wouldn't. I don't think I could do that rigorous of a schedule. But I like that look. I think that would be a good taper. You're big, you're in shape, you're lean, but the ridiculous balloon biceps and things, dude. How would you even wipe your ass?
Some of those guys had to get their wives to wipe their ass, right? Like,
I think so.
yeah, like those really big fuckers, like Greg Kovacs or whatever.
God, huge motherfuckers.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, and
I don't know, man. Just seems like a lot of work for what? I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
guess
not even healthy.
yeah, it's not healthy. Your life's gonna be cut short, but I don't see the pros that much. A lot of cons, but
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see the pros. It's not something that I would do. I've never been had any appeal to try body, but I would take that back. I've had appeals to try it naturally, but never appealed to me doing it steroids. And again, not that I have anything against it. If there's a time when I need to start TRT under a doctor, dude, I have all the testosterone's fine. That's great. Take it. But I saw some guy on YouTube, man, and they were testing his testosterone. It was something crazy. Like, I think the scale of average is 300. That's on the lower end of average, and 900, whatever measurement they do, is on the higher end of average. So most guys fall somewhere in between. But doctors typically don't prescribe anything if you're between 300 and 900. This is like 10,000. Some shit.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, what the dude? You got to be punching walls and kicking dogs and shit like that. 10,000.
That's crazy.
That's wacky.
That's just dumb, yeah.
Yes. Well, I did have sex with a girl this weekend.
Oh, I was going to try to tie that into steroid abuse. I could not find a way to do that. How did your sex go this weekend, Grant Mills?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. She was so ugly, her dog had her on a leash.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, boy. Man, I got fucking tired today. I'm just like, I'm groggy or something. I had a long drive day. I had to go to Montgomery, like in Alabama, the shittiest place on earth.
Oh.
Hang out there for 4 hours.
Mm.
So that was unpleasant.
Montgomery's not my favorite.
It's just a shitty part of the state. I don't get it.
No.
So, yeah, pretty not fun. Oh man.
Did you have several places to go there? One place, two place, 4?
4.
Whew. Jeez. All right, that is pretty bad.
Yeah. So, is what it is. But it. I don't know. I got 2 of the really shitty stores, and then one's all right. Well, 2 of them's all right, and the other 2 are like ghetto. In the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
Yeah, pretty bad. I go in there and take a couple pictures and like just dip right back out, man. It's like, I don't even talk to any of these fools over here. Everything's all high theft. They lock everything up. Yeah, tight toothpaste in a fucking glass case.
Man, that's so
man.
sad.
Yeah, like
God.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, when you see that shit, you're in the wrong side of town.
Oh, man. Oh, let's see. What's the score to this fucking game again right now?
Was it 20-10? Still,
I think it's I think someone scored. Oh my God, what's wrong with my computer?
Oh Lord.
27-10, the Texans.
I need a little bit more for that
quarter.
over under.
So, yep. I think Whis picked the Cowboys.
Okay.
He did.
Jeez, I don't know. Man, they need to get Bill Belly or somebody.
I heard that rumor earlier that Belichick could be a possibility, but I don't see that.
Yeah, probably not. He dating them young girls.
Yeah, man, with that much money and you're at that age and you're dating young girls, man, they may be after your money. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess you're right. Huh.
I'm not saying get married to them, but I mean,
Yeah.
Are they going to pull
I
some
don't know.
bullshit eventually? Probably.
They might. Yeah, that's the only thing. You know, like try to hem you up in some kind of fucking lawsuit or something.
Yeah,
Some
they're going
shit.
to claim he shoved a lampshade or something up her ass and was abusive and try to do some stuff like that. Maybe he does shove lampshades up asses, but I make no light of anything like that, but it does happen. Extortion and blackmailing, and both sexes do it. I'm not saying they don't. But yeah, if you're that rich, man, you got to be cautious with your You got to be realistic, man. I mean, there's no young girls giving a shit about you for your personality or your looks.
Yeah, well, I'd say like 70 something.
Yeah, man, it looks like shit. I mean, he do.
Yeah, I think his last girlfriend was like in her 60s, and she actually looked pretty good for a 60-year-old. I'll just leave it like that, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I can understand that, man. I mean, if I'm 70 something and I got a couple million and I'm a single guy, that's probably the avenue I would be shopping in, or the aisle I would be shopping in. You know, maybe 45 plus with a career, something like that. I could see you realistically getting something in that bracket, but 20 something, man, early 20s especially, can't
Yeah,
even
she's like
run for.
23.
Yeah, she can't even run for like representative or senate or president.
Yeah, super young.
Yeah,
Super young, Bill Belly.
yeah, that's not gonna. Yeah, she need to be dating the players, not the coach.
For real.
What, dude?
Let's go ahead and get some. We got some news. All right, what has been going on out there in podcast land and everywhere? Do you have any hamsters? Y'all do? I know you got dogs and cats, but I got like gerbils at the house.
No gerbils. My wife's expressed interest maybe in one day. I am opposed to it, but nobody listens to me. Do you have a gerbil, Grant Mills?
No way, dude.
All right.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
I can see Jarvis having one.
Maybe. He has a lot of animals.
He loves them.
I could see him having maybe a parrot. Those stinky bastards. But, well, we had a plane grounded for 4 days and 132 hamsters escaped on board. The plane was grounded for 4 days at a Portuguese airport in Vancouver when 132 hamsters escaped from boxes in the cargo hold. TAP Air Portugal flight from Lisbon to Ponta Delgada Airport featured a full contingent of passengers, as well as hamsters, ferrets, and birds en route to a pet store. The flight ended up grounded in Ponta Delgada when 132 hamsters were found to have escaped from the cargo hold. Officials said the plane was kept at the airport for safety reasons, as the hamsters could pose a risk to the plane's electrical wires. Workers spent 4 days scouring the plane for any loose rodents, and the Airbus A320 finally returned to Lisbon on Sunday. Oh man, that's a lot of hamsters. 132 fucking hamsters, man.
That's a lot of them motherfuckers.
I don't get having a hamster, man. It's not like a dog. Like, you can, they're too little, you know? Like, what if you, I don't know, accidentally fucking step on it or something, sit on it, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we had them as kids, and at the time it was novel. Kids had hamsters in their room, and now I guess maybe I'm a parent. I'm just older and not a kid anymore. I don't understand the appeal to it. Where the hell do hamsters? Are they Asian? Are they in Asian countries, like wild hamsters? Do they catch them and just breed them for?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe they eat them. Them Asians, they eat all kind of crazy stuff.
I heard that, man. I mean, all over the world, man.
I know something like guinea pigs. Like they're supposed to be pretty good. Like in some countries, they cook them up.
Yeah, and I have a pretty, no bash on any cultures for their eating. I have a pretty, I'm interested in eating all types of animals. I would try it as long as it's legal and ethically taken down. And Japan had chicken gizzards, liver, some other parts, chicken heart, a couple other things. Again, that's probably not too out there because you could probably find that here in America too. But I mean, I'd try a hamster. I just don't think there'd be a lot of meat on it.
Yeah. Man, remember that rumor that Richard Gere shoved gerbils up his ass back in the day?
Where did that begin from? Because, yeah, I remember that. I
They
heard
said,
that before I even knew who Richard Gere was.
yeah, well, like I said, a bunch of gays used to do it back in the day. That was the rumor, shoving gerbils in your butt and letting them get up in there. Oh, it's so fucking sick, man. And then this comedian was like, it was Sam Kinison. Like, he was like, quote, gay bashing or whatever. And it's like a lot of his jokes. And he's just like, yeah, man, these, these,
Right.
it never occurred to me to shove a rodent in my intestinal tract. I was like, oh man, that's fucking sick. Who the fuck came up with this? I've always wondered about that fucking sick shit though. Like, what the fuck, man? Did he really do that? Why Richard Gere, like of all people?
Yeah, he
That's why.
seems so normal.
That's why I tend to think it's true. Like, who the fuck would start a rumor about that with this certain actor? So,
Hey, man, maybe he dated somebody much younger than him. They wanted to get back, and they started that rumor.
that could be it. I don't know, man. That's sick.
That's a weird rumor to start. Like, I think it back then, before we had the internet and we were exposed to everybody's weird inner going ons of everybody's mind, and weird shit's just everywhere now. I think maybe it was just so baffling and bizarre that it just spread. People never had heard that kind of stuff before, and then once they heard about it, it just spread like that. Like the Marilyn Manson and the rib thing.
Oh yeah, was that true?
No, that wasn't true. I looked that one up years ago, and
Okay.
I was like, no, that's not true. But I mean, yeah, people always, said that with Marilyn Manson. Oh, he took a rib out so he could suck his own wiener.
Tron Cat in the chat. What up, Tron Cat? And didn't they say he was Paul from the Wonder Years?
Yeah, that was another
I know
thing.
that's not true. So
Yeah, yeah. How these things start, man. I mean, it's bogus.
yeah, that's definitely fucking bogus.
Yeah.
Oh man. You got GTA 5? GTA, what's that? What is it? GTA 5?
Yeah. I do have GTA 5. Do you?
No. I was thinking about getting it. Do you play it?
I go on spurts here and there where I play it. I have not played it in quite some time. I don't play it online much, but I totally would if you got into it and tried it out.
What is it if you get online? You just get on there and fuck with people, or?
I think so. I've tried it a few times, but I don't get it. I mean, I think you go around and I really don't know. I guess it's kind of like Fortnite where you can go around and shoot people and things like that. But I think there's missions that you can do, things like that, and maybe get a. Let's be honest, just going around and fucking with other people.
That's what all the clips show. Like if you're, on YouTube and stuff. So, like what the fuck? I know if you play it the other way, there's like whatever. But GTA 6. GTA 6 fans think the moon is telling them when the next trailer will arrive. Zach Sween. So it looks like there's a random promo image from Rockstar Games featuring the moon as seen in GTA 5, which has led to a wild theory, actually, that the space orb controls our tides, and the image really clue pointing to when the next GTA 6 trailer will drop. Last December, Rockstar Games finally released the first official trailer for the upcoming GTA 6. The trailer quickly racked up millions of views, and fans dug through it over and over, trying to pull out as much info as possible. One fan seemingly figured out an NPC sunscreen SPF level. That's kind of weird, but not uncommon for this theory-loving fandom. And now, because of a moon in a screenshot, GTA superfans are convinced that on November 22nd, we'll either get the next trailer or an announcement from Rockstar of what to expect. So I don't know. I'm not really hyped for this or anything. Because are you gonna get GTA 6?
I probably will, but I always get it a couple of months after it releases. I've always liked all the GTAs, even from the beginning. The original Grand Theft Auto, I remember playing it online. Then when GTA 2 came out, same thing. It had the overhead view still, but really fun game. And then when 3 came out, 3 was amazing, really awesome. And that was actually the first purchase I made on Amazon uh, way ages ago. I think I've been on Amazon since customer since 2002, so 22 years now. And I bought GTA 3 for my brother as a birthday gift.
GTA 3.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of them though. Are you gonna get it? Are you kind of looking that way?
I don't know, maybe, man. I always buy these games and don't ever play them. What the fuck? That's stupid. But as I was thinking of getting 5, but it's like I don't know.
5's fun, man. 5's a really good game. If the I guess the normal game, people the campaign mode or whatever, without playing online is extremely fun, and it's really. I don't have a better word than versatile, but there's several characters you can play as and you can swap to, and it happens over the course of the story. But there's really a lot of in-depth side missions, side quests. Things like that on there too, and I think it makes the game really fun. I mean, if you just want to go on there for an hour, steal an airplane, fuck around, and run from the cops, man, it's extremely fun just to do that. If you want to play the missions, it's extremely fun to do that. If you want to go on side quests and little missions that aren't part of the main storyline, it's extremely fun to do that. I think it's a great game. I'm like you, man. I think I just don't feel like I have the time to game as much as I used to, especially with kids and shit. But it's one, man. I could totally sit down and chill and play it all day.
Hell yeah! Another good game back in the day was Half-Life. Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 gets a big 20th anniversary update and is free to grab for a limited time, folks. This article is Zach Zween. Valve's classic and beloved FPS now has Steam Workshop support and developer commentary. Looks like Valve's seminal shooter Half-Life 2 is now 2 decades old, and to celebrate, the company has released a new documentary alongside of a massive update to the game itself. Half-Life 2 launched on November 16th, 2004. Now, 20 years later, Valve has updated the landmark first-person shooter, added new features, fixed old bugs, improved some visuals, added more options, and integrated the Steam Workshop into the classic game. And if you somehow don't own Half-Life 2, well, it's free to grab over the weekend.
Damn.
Well, I guess not anymore. That's weekend, maybe. When was this article written? Yeah, Friday.
2 years ago.
I think that was this past weekend, folks. Maybe you want to double check on that, but
yeah, you almost should.
Yeah, perhaps the newest addition to the 2004 shooter as part of this update is The Lost Coast, a small free side game. Episode 1 and 2 are now included as part of the Half-Life 2 package, so you can play all those games within Half-Life 2. Speaking of Lost Coasts, ever since Valve launched that small experience, it has included a developer commentary in its games. However, Half-Life 2 lacked this feature and now has been rectified with this update. Valve got the old gang back together and recorded nearly 4 hours of commentary for the FPS. They also did a big documentary about Half-Life 2 and spilled the beans on Episode 3 development and cancellation as well. Another big feature included in this update, alongside improved gamepad controls, auto aim, is the inclusion of the Steam Workshop support that was previously mentioned. This will make it easier than ever to add new levels, guns, and mods to the extremely moddable PC game. There's basically 20 years of mods out there that can be now migrated to the workshop and made easier than ever to access. And nerds are coming right now. Valve also updated a ton of smaller parts of Half-Life 2, including fixing old bugs, adding new graphical options for blood splatter, tweaking HDR settings, and more. Thankfully, if you don't like these changes or have a mod that relies on the old version, Valve isn't removing the OG Half-Life 2 from Steam. You can still download it and enjoy all your old mods and your mods and old memories. And best of all, Valve made Half-Life 2 totally free for their, well, not anymore. Well, hold on, it's the 18th, so you might still have time, folks. So you have until today to go on and get it. on Steam for $0. And man, I might have to do that when I get done with this. That was
Shit.
that one and Unreal.
Unreal
played
was great. Unreal
motherfucker.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was good.
So those were two very good games. Oh, baby, 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 baby. Yeah, go check that out. I'll probably check that out after the podcast tonight, boy. And I might
You
get
won't
on
have to.
again or more.
Get it.
AI is getting more popular, and man, I mean, so much stuff you can do. It's still not perfect. Still, it's getting better and better. But more people are using it. Um, more companies are getting this integrated. Looks like Coca-Cola has a new Christmas ad made with AI, and it's not looking good. I don't know. It's supposed to be a remake of one of the classic Coke TV ads from the 90s. This one's also by Zach Zween. They've been making Christmas ads for a very, very long time. Of course, Coke has. Looks like the last one was created using AI, and it's not that great. It looks like you can look at this probably on YouTube, I'm thinking.
I mean, I saw it, and I didn't
did
think it
you?
looked. Yeah, I didn't think it looked that bad.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just going off this.
I will say I watched it on my
Zach
phone, so I didn't watch it on a TV or a computer. Maybe there's, how AI is, man. It's one of those things. When you look at it at first go, you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. But then you look a little closer. If you take time to investigate the photo, there's like a sixth finger, or the eyes are just not right, or some weird faces floating in the background. I didn't see that, but again, I did not investigate it very heavy. So maybe that's what it was. But I want you to watch it later, Grant Mills, and then give me your feedback on it.
I probably will, man. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I just saying it kind of looks funny. So I mean, it's pretty fairly new. I mean, it's not gonna be. You're gonna have bugs, and so
Yeah,
that's just another marketing marketing tool that you can use now. So it's kind of scary in a way because it's gonna take some human element out of some commercials. There will be some job replacement, I guess. I don't know how, if that's gonna, because then there's other shit that can still open up in a way, but because the whole landscape of technology and employment does change, so shit closes
sure.
down, other shit opens up, but we'll see, I guess, man. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy out there, folks.
Mm.
But go check that out on YouTube there. I'll look at it later on as I am kind of curious now.
Well, I like playing with Chat GPT and shit like that. Do you like to fool with it a little bit?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't do too much with it though. Like I don't know, I don't know about what I would do with it. I'd do some like writing stuff and like random pictures. Like I see like what it does, like curiosity, but nothing really productive. Like yeah. I went in there and like told it to write a mobile app about something, and it put together some stuff, but I don't really know where to go after
Huh?
that.
That's actually really clever.
Yeah. So definitely potential crazy time.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think it. You hit the nail on the head. I'm not even going to try to fancy the word up, man. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's a lot of a human element out of it. It almost sounds like sometimes it's trying too hard. I use it for a lot of my letters for work, things like that. Like sometimes if you just want to write a letter, hey, Grant Mills, how's it going? How are you? You're like, oh, I'll use AI to gussy it up. Sometimes it just goes too far. It's like, greetings, Grant Mills. I'm sending my best welcome from behind my computer. Yeah, sometimes it's like, okay, it's too flowery. But then you'll be like, hey, make it a little more laid back than that. And then it's like, what up, Grant Mills? Like, okay, now it's too fucking laid back. Pick one out and, stop being shitty.
Yeah. So right now you just you have the element to come in and have to go clean it up and edit it and make sure it's not having the wrong shit on there. So I guess that's one thing. But then what if the whole fucking fucked up thing is the self awareness and then those Skynet scenario and oh man, what have we done? Kind of Pandora's box of sorts.
Right.
So that's where all the movie shit comes into play. Like, oh man, crazy time, crazy time. Man, you think koalas are cute?
I've never been a fan of them.
I think they carry chlamydia or something.
Yeah, they're weird. And there was a lot of 80s shows that featured koalas, cartoons, so I've never liked them.
Okay. Koala found relaxing in South Australia couple's bedroom. Australia got all those weird bugs and animals and shit all everywhere. This one's by Ben Hooper. And there's a video clip, of course. You search on Instagram. A couple arrived at their home in Australia after midnight, and found their bedroom occupied by an unexpected intruder, a koala. Francis Rufino posted a video to Facebook showing the scene that she and her husband Bruno were confronted with at their Rosslyn Park, South Australia home. Only in Australia, she wrote in the caption for the video, which shows a koala exploring the bedroom where Rufino shouts in Portuguese. Rufino, who is from Brazil, told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation she forgot how to speak in English as a result of seeing the marsupial in her home. Quote, I thought, oh my God, there is a koala in my bedroom. And Bruno was like, lady, what are you doing? Why are you screaming? She recalled. Rufino called for expert help while her husband attempted to contain the koala. Bruno tried to hold him with some clothes, and he grabbed the clothes. I called for the koala rescue, and I forgot how to speak in English, and I started to speak Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. The koala was eventually coaxed out of the house and proceeded to climb a tree in the couple's yard. I think he's a part of the family now, Rufino said. Man, what the fuck ass article is this, man? This is
That's a weird one.
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you can check out the video online there, and they're kind of cute, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I said they have like chlamydia and all kind of crazy shit.
That's weird.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll be calling. I guess you got to call a fucking one of those places, critter control or some shit. Come get that bastard.
Yeah, I wonder what pest control is like in Australia. Seriously, that's a good point. I mean, do they handle like koalas invasions and kangaroos and stuff like that? Because we got guys in Florida that handle gators, right?
Yeah, but those are wildlife usually. Like those, that don't do just pests. Like you gotta a
Fair
bunch
enough.
of equipment and stuff to do that. So that's how it is out here. If you got to get a fucking like big ass snake or some kind of fucking shit like that, I don't think any regular pest control is gonna do that. They have the wildlife stuff that they
have like a random guy from the trailer park come over and do it.
Yeah. Well, I remember that pest control show. There was I forgot the name of that fucking show.
Yeah, the guy that was trying to be like really cool about it with the spiky hair and stuff. Yeah.
I'd never heard of him like in years, but God, I can't remember the name of it. He had the trucks with like the like fucking crazy like paint jobs on them, and
yeah, we had a couple of roofers around here that I worked with that did that similar theme, like green and black, like mostly black with green. Kind of had a punk rock vibe and try to make it like works cool. Like, yeah, man, we're the awesome roofers. You know, we're checking out your roof today and stuff like that. And I don't think they're in business anymore.
Yeah, man. I was one of those. I can't remember what channel it was on, but I watched the whole
Since,
block of it. Like they do those fucking marathons and stuff, you know.
right.
And yeah, dude, it was kind of interesting, but
It wasn't bad. I remember the show. I mean, I didn't dislike it.
yeah, I think it was him and his dad as like a family kind of thing, and they got have to do remove dangerous animals and whatnot. Man, that would, like I said, I mean, I think it'd be kind of interesting to do, man. I guess better than sitting behind an office desk for sure. I mean, you get out and stuff, but I guess
Yeah,
like
man.
if you like doing that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, I wish I had something like that because I mean, I'm the total behind the computer thing. I mean, yeah, I think there's so many pros and cons. Again, I don't want to get on to that. Like working your own business, you got to worry about a paycheck, shit like that. But I don't know, man. If you liked what you were doing and you know you had fun doing it, some people like pest control, things like that. So
I've done it before. It's all right. It's not bad. It's just depends on what you're doing, and like also who owns the company and all that kind of thing. It's you know it can if you're doing service, it sucks. If you sell it, it's all right to me. Yeah. So, but I don't. If I was gonna start a business, I'd just do like a mosquito control on the side. You know what I mean? Just like start small. I just do like some friends and like them, like maybe a little word of mouth or something. It's like side hustles because just need a backpack sprayer, man. You could do it yourself, like starting out, man. Like if it got big, it could be kind of crazy
yeah,
because they got those franchises that like Mosquito Squad. That's a franchise. I'm like, I don't get why you do that. I mean, they take a royalty and all this, and it's not that. I don't think it'd be that hard to set up. You don't even really need an office. You just need a couple backpack sprayers and a truck, and that's really it. Maybe someone to help set appointments, but you could do that at first,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And they make pretty good, and it's not hard. It's just it kind of after a while, you'd have to get somebody to do it, and then that's kind of where it loses me because like I think the idea of owning a business is cool, but like when you have to start hiring people and then taxes and shit, I don't know, man. I'm just like,
I mean,
I
yeah, I mean the real money
love
is
that
in
shit.
self-employment. My granddad always told me that you'll never make as much money as you can working for somebody, and I mean I agree. You can make a lot of money on your own business. I know people that do it and do it very well, but that part, man, it's one of those things, man. I admire people, especially people that are younger, and I consider younger, 40-ish and less, that have started and do their own thing. But the margins and the uncertainty definitely would bother me. Maybe I play it too safe sometimes with my job. Like I said, I don't love the career I'm in, but the flexibility is great. It's consistent. Never had a problem getting a job, and the benefits and pay are pretty good. Yeah, and I also just don't have that single passion. I do, like I said, there's one thing that I really enjoy doing. I like training, things like that, but it's also a diluted industry right now, and to like you said, man, it's one of those things. Can you make that money? People talk about it. You can, but you got to be realistic with yourself as well. If you're a single guy, you can live at home and for a minute, or you have a fallback plan. Absolutely. When you're a dad of two kids, man, sometimes you got to weigh your options. I lost my job. I'm gonna move back in with my parents. Start get back on my feet. Wife. um, but yeah, man. That being said, there's a lot of cool avenues out there for self employment. So if you're in that market, good luck to you.
I think the best thing is, like you said, self-employment's cool, but Well, not like I would ever know, but I mean, I think it just depends on like what it is, and it's also the people. Some people ain't cut out for that shit. Some people are. So, and then how fulfilling is it? A lot of shit comes into play. So, um, you know, um, I've seen people do really good that were total fuck ups and other shit in life, but then like somehow they got their own business and like found something they like to do. They're successful, but in a regular going to college type shit, they didn't make it. So, and vice versa, you know. Um,
Yeah, I see it all the time, man. Like I said, I got the buddy, the contractor, and he's done really well for himself. But it's one of those things you got to recognize too, man. When you leverage money, especially like in real estate, and there's times that you don't do well. I mean, if you're leveraging hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time, say you buy a property to flip, and this has happened. I've heard him tell me, say you put 50,000 of your own money in, but you're going to leverage or mortgage out another property or however you're going to do it to buy a $100,000 property. So you got 50 grand of your own money in, you got 50,000, you're hoping to sell it for say 300,000. Well, you've got to put in $100,000 of work. Where's that coming from? It's coming out of your pocket. So now you're 150, 200 in the hole on a property you hope to make 100 on because you're leveraging, blah, 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 or something like that. You're hoping to make a $100,000 profit, sell yourself back. But one of his houses didn't sell for 3 years. And you're sitting on that, man. You're paying taxes on that, and you're maintaining it. And if somebody breaks in that time and it's just sitting there, got to go fix it. Got to maintain some type of insurance on it. Somebody breaks in and breaks their leg, you ain't got no liability insurance. So there's times you're doing flush, and then there's times, man, you're living on credit cards and taking a part-time job or doing part-time work to make ends meet. So again, man, I think self-employment, if you do it right, is fantastic. Like I said, maybe I play it too safe sometimes, but I don't know. I probably think more on the glass half empty.
Marty, you always gotta be positive, yeah.
oh,
That's a book right there. Just be positive.
My.
looks like the Texans. What's 34-10?
Yeah.
Texans. What was the over?
Over was 41 and a half.
Oh,
so, yeah, we both had the over on that one.
Yes.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
Whis, Dallas with the under.
The exact opposite. Man, 3-7. They will not make the playoffs again.
No.
Dak's been there fucking 10 years, man. Get rid of him. They just like re-signed him not too long ago. What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
I ought to cut his ass 5 years ago.
Shelf life terrible.
He's just not that good.
No, not at all.
Not that good. Well, folks, let's go ahead and this is where we usually take a break. I would like you guys to go get a refreshment, maybe use the facilities. Come back and we got a vintage game review, more shit talk, and NFL and NCAA football picks for you guys. We'll see you in a couple of shakes. Yayo. Man, I got a useless trivia question for you tonight.
Oh, love it. I'll try to get it.
I think you're gonna get this one. I'm gonna do some Sopranos trivia.
Oh,
Now,
I'm good at this.
I never have seen this show, but it's one of those that it's kind of like, man, people hype it too much. I don't
love
even
it.
want to watch it.
My favorite show of all time. Love it.
Yeah, it's in there with Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and that kind of category for me. Not that I wouldn't watch it. That'd be probably one of the ones that I would watch over any of the other ones, but I just I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the question, folks. Tony runs into a mob informant while taking what child to college in season 1?
Oh, Meadow.
Ding, bing, da, ding, ding. Oh, you got one right. Let's see. Do I have a? That's a boxing ring, but I don't have another.
Hey, it works.
I used to have a buzzer on here, but I think I replaced it with a fart sound. I need to put that one back on the soundboard. All right. Have you seen her podcast? What's her name?
Yeah.
Jamie some shit?
Jamie Lynn Sigler. Yeah, I've heard it a couple of times. Robert Eiler, who played AJ, her brother on the show, they did their podcast. It's pretty good, man. I like it. Also, they did Talking Sopranos with Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher, and what's his face, who played Bobby Bacala on the show. I listened to that for a good bit. I'm a huge Sopranos fan, man. I've seen every episode probably 12 times. I've watched the whole show. I have the box set. I love it. I think it's the best show of all time, and I don't say that lightly because I can be critical too. Breaking Bad's up there. I like Breaking Bad, but I think Breaking Bad is extremely. You nailed the trio that I would consider, not me specifically, but I think people would. Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos. Breaking Bad is extremely linear, where he's got cancer, he's getting sick, he's getting worse, blah blah blah. It kind of follows the line. Game of Thrones, I've talked about this several times. It's just too many characters, man. Main characters die off, and new characters reintroduced. If you like that type of fiction, good for you. I can't keep up with it. It's not linear. It's all over the place. Sopranos is a pretty good mix of both. I think it follows, the seasons change, but a lot of secondary characters have their moment in the sun, whereas, but it still supports the main storyline, if that makes sense. But it's not so much you get lost in it. And I think that's really why it's really good. It's interesting enough to keep you entertained. Lots of good, diverse characters. Shockingly, they're mostly Italian. Yeah, I think it's a great show, man. I love it. Absolutely love it.
How many seasons did that do?
They did 6, but technically the final season 6 was a 6A and a 6B, so realistically 7. I can't remember why, so maybe I would probably miss a couple of trivia questions, but I think it was they ran the final season. Maybe they filmed it all in one long run, because I think it was like 24 episodes. But yeah, it's technically adds to 7 seasons, but the 6th season is called 6A and 6B.
Oh.
Good show though, man. You should get into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. I've been trying to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I'll get on the computer and then I'll just have it on and miss 2 episodes. I gotta go back and watch it, and I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I need to take a serious change to my life and be one of these adventurous white people who die in a cliff off of somewhere foreign, like Transylvania or something, where I try to live on the side of a fucking mountain I'm trying to scale. I don't know, man. Like one of those extreme the extreme white guy. Do we have any extreme white guy friends? They're always in a different country. They've lived in Thailand for several years. They tell you about shit, about like your own people. Yeah, I've been to, wherever. Like, say you have some kind of lineage or something. Like, yeah, I've been there. Like,
Man,
I've been to Vietnam. I know everything.
I know some that have some of the qualities there, but not the full scale that you're talking about. But I know those kind of guys, though, man. I definitely know the kind of people you're talking about.
Yeah, I really think that's cool, man. But I'm kind of like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm too much of a puss, I think. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's awesome though. God, I want to, man, like a motherfucker. But and then it's like, I don't know. Then I'm on the side of a fucking mountain and snowing, and I'm trying to heat up a beef stew from a can. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Beef stew from a can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, hey, sometimes you got to get your frills in different ways, and it's like we are talking about the Dick Pernicki guy. It's kind of the same thing.
Ah, yeah.
Out in the wilderness, doing that. So, man, I don't know. I can take you in freaky directions some of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can, man. I think I would. I told my better half that. I think next year I wouldn't mind taking like a week, maybe a week and a half off, and maybe late early spring. And I could probably do it here, but I'd rather do it somewhere that I'm out of my comfort zone. Like go to I don't know, somewhere like the Dakotas, Wyoming. So it'd be better if I could drive there, so I don't have to get a flight involved. But get a cabin, small 1 bedroom, 1 bath, something not quite primitive because I don't think I'm there yet with my white guy journey, but something that's just basic, basic 1 bedroom, 1 bath cabin out in the middle of nowhere, the woods, the wilderness. It don't have to be like completely off the grid, but something like that, man. Take some books, get out of cell service for like a week, and just maybe not even a full week, just a couple of days, 3-4 days, and just wake up, make your coffee, have something to eat, just relax, read a book, take a hike, kind of get grounded again, if that makes sense. I think that's probably healthy for you too. I really do.
I think that'd be fun,
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of it. Like the one guy got lost somewhere, and like I think they made a movie about it, and he like got his arm trapped in a fucking between some rocks. So he was there for like days. He had to cut off his own arm, and drink his own piss. I'm like, oh,
Ooh.
that's a little extreme.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of looking for that though. I mean, not that drink his own piss.
Yeah, he did. I was like, oh god. I was like, man. I think it was on Jay Leno or something. Like when that movie's kind of old. That
Yeah,
they
I think
did
it
off of
was.
that. And he was telling the story and shit. He had to like cut his fucking arm off with like a gnarly pocket knife or something.
He did, yeah, man.
Oh,
I mean,
God, that would fucking suck so bad.
yeah, I mean, dude, survival will make you do some crazy shit. If you can get through that, I mean, now, I mean, he's got a robot arm and he's been on Jay Leno, so he's got it made.
They took all my royalties, goddamn corporations.
That sucks. Yeah, man, I do. I think that would be good for everybody, man. I know actually, I messaged you and Mustard in the chat earlier, but I know we had talked about some stuff like that. But I talked to him before, and even Duck and a couple of the other squad about the state parks and going to those cabins. We saw some when we visited Jarvis not too long ago. I think even for a local level, man, just getting out there for a weekend and really not trying to have anything to do. Get a cabin, fish. If some dude wants to take a book and just chill, man, let them do it, man. We don't have to be up each other's, ass all weekend. I think that's one thing, man, about guys that's pretty cool. Most of them really don't care what the other dudes are doing. Hey, man, you want to chill? No, I'm just going to chill. All right. That's cool. I feel like girls have to set their whole trips up. That's not every one of them, but the ones I've been around tend to do that.
Yeah, girls are different. Let me ask you: when y'all had a kid, did your wife become more nagging?
She doesn't listen to the podcast, so probably.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. She don't listen to this shit.
Hey, asshole.
Hey, you know what's interesting? You know how like that's how she'd bring it up, man. Girls are so funny. They'll try to like just creep it in there, like do some coy kind of like conversation, like at the end of the night, try to bring it in on some kind of different shit, like casually through a random conversation.
Right.
Man, you got fucked. They don't never just, hey, you fucker, I was listening to the podcast. You think I'll nag the shit out of you, bastard? I mean, something way more like, nondescript, not so upfront. So
I definitely think it has happened more when you have kids. But I mean,
I get it, man. I definitely understand it. I just think that's kind of how it goes. Like, oh man, it's just how it is.
you have. Oh man, that's a total. I'm avoiding a lot of rabbit holes tonight, but I'll say, man, you well, I mean, I don't get it that bad. I mean, we know some friends of ours that get it way bad, but it's also how you respond to that kind of stuff, man. I mean, you just got to be realistic about stuff. I mean, are they going to say things or request things or ask you to do stuff? Yeah, dude, of course they are. I haven't met one that doesn't, but if you do it all the time at their whim just to appease them, then you're setting yourself up for that being a repeated uh, habit, or you're creating a habit out of them. I'm not saying don't help out, don't do things. I mean, if you're a guy and you leave shit out and they're like, hey, pick this shit up. I mean, dude, yeah, pick your shit up. But if it's just some bullshit stuff, man, don't do it every time. Just be like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to do that shit. There's better ways, more elegant ways to put that. But yeah, man. With kids, it's definitely worse. It's just because you get so much more shit going on. Ugh.
Yeah, well, I definitely can understand that. People have their own ideas about like what's good and what's bad when it comes to the kid and how you need to handle certain situations and whatnot. So obviously you're going to clash, and also depending on if there's not not like I know, but in theory, if there's not an actual like y'all haven't really got into like how the fucking household's going to go, like. Is it going to be something where the man is like, you know, the it all runs through the man, or is it like a 50-50 deal, or is it the woman wears the pants? There's all kind of different configurations. So, um, yeah, but I mean, just in general, I think, and once that does happen, I think there's a switch that goes, and women definitely change when they have children. I get it. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I get it, but that does that, you know, necessarily turn into the nagging. And I think that, yeah, not because it's bad. I just think that like your maternal instincts kind of, paternal instincts or whatever kind of kick in, and you have your certain idea of how to do shit, and maybe the other person does also, obviously. Sometimes that's where that clashes. My thing doesn't have to really do. It's kind of like not with the kids, but when I lived with a woman, for example, it would just be kind of like a big thing would be like I didn't immediately, like when I got done eating, I didn't immediately like put the shit in the dishwasher, for example, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, and like you get to fighting about that kind of shit. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, who cares? Like, I'll put it up. You know what I mean? Like, she has to come by and get the shit and just fucking put it in. I'm like, I'll put it up later. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just and it's shit like that man can really fuck up shit sometimes if you don't know how to handle it. So
Yeah, it can, man. I guess too. Like I said, not just to pick on the ladies. I'll be fair to everybody. If you have a roommate or something, which I never have, honestly, like a guy, that's probably one of my biggest regrets. I've never lived with one of my homeboys. I think everybody's got their own quirks and things. I think women have a I mean, man, they're maternal, so they're more protective of kids and their space and their nesting when they go into that kind of phase. I think they have that more cleanliness stuff. I'm like you, man. I mean, I've always said, man, I've never been a dirty person. I can be messy at times, but it's not even bad. Like, and I mean that, man. I keep a pretty clean house, but if my laundry's not done and I just don't feel like getting to it, man, I'll pile it up in a nice, neat pile and throw it in the corner for a day or two. Let it sit. I don't give a shit. But I mean, if you're leaving out some M-Wiggy back in the day stuff where you take your dirty plates and put them in a drawer instead of taking it to the kitchen, and then you open the drawer and roaches are crawling on it. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's different. That's just nasty. I've been messy, but not nasty. Never nasty. Like I'll left dishes out and stuff, but it's never gotten to the point where it's like bugs and shit everywhere or anything like that.
Yeah, I have too, man. I mean, but yeah, M-Wiggy did it to a point where it was pretty bad. So I don't know why I'm picking on him, but I've always vowed to be a little cleanlier than that.
Well, that's just fucking nasty. You got like fucking roaches and shit you got to get rid of, and that's not fun. And yeah, man, I don't like nasty, but I'm not like anal retentive when it comes to cleaning up a place. Sometimes, man, like they just like, oh, when you get done, put it in the fucking dishwasher. Like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need reminders and stuff like that too. I mean, though, like, yeah, that irritates me at times. Like, I'm not looking for a reminder on your bullshit.
Yeah, buddy. All right, a vintage gaming review for tonight is coming up. Motherfuckers. Tonight's vintage gaming review, brought to you by Roger Harry, is Ikari Warriors. It's an NES game. Back in the day, oh shit, it was known as Ikari in Japan. It's a vertically scrolling run and gun game. Think Zelda. Released for arcades by SNK in 1986. It was published in North America by Trade West. At that time, there were many Commando clones on the market. What distinguished Ikari Warriors were the rotary joysticks and two-player co-op mode. Rotary joystick controls were a term based on SNK's earlier TNK3. Ikari was originally intended to be an official licensed adaptation of the film Rambo: First Blood Part 2. But SNK was initially unable to acquire the rights to the film. The game was a major commercial success in arcades. It was Japan's second highest grossing table arcade game in 1986, and London's third highest grossing arcade game that year. Was also a major breakthrough U.S. release for SNK, ranking among America's top 5 highest grossing dedicated arcade games for 2 years in a row, 1986 and 1987. The player takes the role of commandos named Colonel Ralph Jones, Red, Second Lieutenant Clark Steele, Blue, when they try to reach the village of Ikari. Enemy units attempting to kill the player include tanks, enemy soldiers, and helicopters. A number of power-ups along the way help the player achieve victory. Players must proceed from the bottom of the screen upwards. Think Zelda, it looks like Zelda, towards the village of Ikari. Trying to prevent them from reaching the village are enemy soldiers and other units. Along the way, players may encounter enemy tanks and helicopters. This is the NES version. to help fight their way through the enemy personnel. The tanks are immune to enemy bullets but have a limited supply of fuel and will sustain damage when it runs out, or the tank is caught in an explosion, taking the player with it, unless he can exit the tank and get clear before it blows up. The helicopters have two different weapons, a spread gun and a cannon, and may fly over water. Rotating the joystick changes the direction. The character faces independent of the direction the character was moving, as controlled by pushing the joystick. This gives the player freedom to attack or walk in 8 different directions. No shot is fired directly from the player. The warrior uses the machine gun in his right hand and throws grenades with his left. If a player character takes too long moving up the screen, the computer starts using call for fire. A red spot appears below him, which is tracking fire to speed up the game. Alright folks, play this one. Like I said, think of like a military Zelda kind of gameplay. Now, this was an arcade game, but it was ported to several systems, including the NES. I would say 2.5. It ain't bad. Not the most fun game, but it's worth a run if you want to check out some game history there. Nothing special. Why not? You know, if you get bored, there are better games out there as far as vintage gaming goes in general. But I like to, man. I used to have it back in the day. It was the track and field where you had the big mat and stuff. And you had to like run on there and do all kind of stuff on the pad. That was kind of a cool, especially for way back. And yeah, way back then it's kind of fun. I wonder if you can even find one of those on eBay or something, maybe.
I guarantee you could.
Yeah. Was that the power pad? I think maybe.
That's exactly what that was. The power pad.
Fucking power pad, dude. If I could find one of those, man, that might be kind of cool.
Dude, that'd be fun, man. They should bring that back. Power pad, double-sided gamepad, untested, $19.99 or best offer.
$19.99.
I think some of these
had more games for that.
I do too, man. I think some of these are reproduction-looking ones. There's some that are saying official for $29.99, $39.99. So that maybe. I mean, here's one that says brand new power pad in the box, original box, $70. Well, that has $60 shipping, so $100 and something. But I figured they'd be going for a lot more. Did they really make that many of them?
Yeah, I don't know. I know it was pretty popular when it came out, but then like for some reason it didn't stay around long. And the only game that I knew that you could play with it was that damn track and field. I don't know if they made any other games for it.
I think it's one of those things, man. The idea was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It's a really cool idea, but it's very... I mean, you got to think, okay, the power pad's out. Now, how many companies are going to go and just start making games based off the power pad? I couldn't imagine the programming for the power pad would have been that easy and that profitable back then versus just something with a regular controller.
Right. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. I wish they'd do some more fucking games for it. Like, you'll have these fucking people that still develop like Super Nintendo games and stuff. Like, you can still make them. And some smaller companies do that, but you have to go find them, like Limited Run and like those companies like that have some stuff out there. You can get like new 8-bit games, 16-bit games. So kind of cool. Haven't explored that like too much, but yeah, the power pad, man, that was cool.
Yeah, I liked it, man. Nifty idea. I never had one. I had a friend that had one. We played with his, and of course track and field, but we never had one.
Yeah, that was cool. Let's see. Athletic World, Dance Aerobics, Stadium Events, World Class Track Meet, Street Cup, Super Team Games. Yeah, so World Class Track Meet was the game that it came with, I guess. Yeah. I remember jumping the hurdles and shit on that bad boy.
Hell yeah.
Cool times, folks. So,
Thank you, Roger Harry, for your beautiful sponsorship of that vintage video game review. Have you seen him lately?
That's where I last got my hair did. You need to go back, man.
I actually thought about it. I was looking on the break at different bookings. The lady I've been going to here, man, she's just been hit or miss. I like the Stallone, man. It's so close. The price is so much better, but I wouldn't even say it's a get what you pay for, because she's had some haircuts that were marvelous, and then some. The second time she cut my hair, I was like, "Whoa, that's rough." But the last time was pretty good. Yeah. God, man, I need to. I actually look, because I'm off Friday. Saturday, I'm not doing shit except setting up and sitting out in the tailgate field watching football. But I could go Friday. I took Friday off, so I don't think he had anything available. And I just, man, don't want to. I do, man. I think before next month, especially with the Christmas dinner we tend to do, I'll have to go see him then. But I don't know, man. I just, like I said, we'll see. I feel like for some reason, and it's not even true, I feel like now I'm having like a rivalry with him. I don't know. And there's nothing, I'm not even a rival against. I don't even cut hair. I just feel like, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, I'm just not going to go to him.
Man, he's so good.
He is, man. He really is. I actually thought about, it's just, I get, like I said, for you, I understand it a lot more, because, and especially when I was out in the field and interacting with people face to face, of course it makes sense, but I don't do that anymore. I'm at home most every day, and some days like today, the only people I see are, my kids and family, or if I go pick them up, I just throw on a hat anyways. So,
Man, just grow it out really long.
I've actually been growing it out. I've been growing my beard out a little bit, so I kind of wanted to go to somebody that actually could do a little bit of a beard trim. Nothing like an LD, but it's a little longer than normal right now, and maybe somebody that can kind of taper the beard a little bit. So hard to find somebody that can do that.
I think Roger Harry does it for like $45.
Yeah. I can trim it for damn free in my house if well, I just looked at I looked at a place. There's a place over in Homewood. Man, nobody's gonna care. Have you been to Single Barrel ever, or heard of them?
I've heard of them, but I also seen some of the cuts that they do, and they don't do very good. That dude's hair was.
I took my nephew. Well, so I went there years ago because I could not get into a Roger Harry cut. He was booked, or he was out of town, and I just needed it, and I think I had somewhere to go, and I went there, and the dude, and he doesn't work there anymore. He cut my hair because I looked at their barbers, and he's not on there, but he just did a terrible job. Wasn't really good. I took my nephew. After he butchered my hair, I decided to take my nephew, let him get his shit butchered too. No, I took him to a different guy, and they did okay with his, man. It actually looked pretty good, but I mean, at the time, that was my older nephew. He was probably, I think it's probably 14, 15, 16, somewhere around in there at the time. So, it wasn't, I mean, they did a fine job. The guy that did it, I think, was the guy that owned it. Fine. So it's hard to go to a place like that. I don't know. I may try somebody else, man. Like I said, I like Roger Harry. Taking that whole, it's just a lot of money, dude. Again, I'm not around anybody hardly for Christmas dinner and holiday season. I guess that's coming up, man. Maybe I should just find a time with him. I'm thinking out loud, Grant Mills. Let me stop.
Oh, get that cut. Get that cut.
What do you?
Let's get into picks.
First down.
Man, what did we have from last week?
Last week, Grant Mills, you did pretty good on college, 5 out of 5. My upsets didn't come through. Tennessee and Utah funked me up, 3 out of 5. Whis wasn't much better. In fact, he was a little worse, 2 out of 5 on college. Good job, Grant Mills. Even better, you did really well in NFL as well. 10 for 14. And on over-unders, 6 out of 10. So good job on that. Myself, Jay Wiggy, 9 for 14 on over-unders. My actual best over-under week I've had, 7 for 9. And Whis coming in at 4 for 14.
That's bullshit.
With 2 for 4 on the over-unders. So his over-unders are actually 50%. So it's not terrible.
Fuck yeah.
Let's move into it, man. We're gonna have a great Saturday. I've actually got 6 games we're gonna pick. Grant Mills. Let me write my notes down. And Whis picking. Let's start off, man. This game's interesting. Number 5 Indiana undefeated at number 2 Ohio State. Grant Mills, how you feel about that?
Ohio State.
Yeah, I think Indiana gets the shit beat out of them and they fade into obscurity. Ohio State. I kind of hope that happens. Whis, dare I even ask?
Big Ohio State University.
Pretty good. This game's a good one, man. 11 Ole Miss at Florida, who's been kind of prickly here and there. What you got on that one, Grant Mills?
Well, I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think Lane's got this one, man, but I think it'll be a better game than people think. Florida's, maybe they made the right decision keeping Napier. Whis, what you got?
I'm going to go with the upset. Yeah, with Florida.
I don't think that's the worst pick. Number 24, Army. I think Army's still undefeated. At number 8, Notre Dame. Grant Mills, what you got on this?
Notre Dame.
I'm going to regret this. I'm going for the upset Army. I just want them to stay undefeated and somehow break into a bowl. Whis, what you got?
I'm Golden Dome, yeah. Notre Dame.
Alrighty. Game we'll be watching and glued to Alabama, number 10, at Oklahoma. Grant Mills, should I even ask? Or are we Alabama across the board?
Oh, Bama, yeah. Just go on and put Bama.
Yeah, I love them, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that. And that's also, I don't even think it's a question. Oklahoma did not live up to the hype this year. I got 2 last ones, man, I think people need to think about. Vandy at number 22, LSU, Death Valley at night. Remember, LSU's on a 3-game losing streak. Vandy's been hot at times this year. Grant Mills, what do you think? Vandy at LSU?
I just don't think they're going to win. I'm going LSU.
Yeah, I think LSU rights the ship here, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings to see Vandy just knock them off too. Fuck them. Whis, what you got?
I'm going to go Vandy, yeah.
All righty. Last one, man. Number 6, BYU, who has made some escapes at Arizona State Sun Devils, who've been playing pretty solid lately. What you got, Grant?
I'm going to go BYU on that one.
They have been a thorn in my pick side lately. I'm going to go AZ State Sun Devils for the upset. Whis, what you got?
I'm going to Sun Devils, yeah.
All righty. That is our 6 games this week. Grant Mills, I will let you handle the pro picks and the over-unders.
All right, folks. We're in week 12.
Goddamn.
On the pro side. Going by fast, so start with the Thursday game. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. The line is Pitt minus 3.5 over under 35.5.
Yeah, I'll go Pitt over.
I'm going Pittsburgh over.
Cleveland under, yeah.
Sunday's lineup, Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota minus 3.5 over under 39.5.
I'm going to go Minnesota over.
I'm going Minnesota over too.
I'm going to go to Chicago under, yeah.
Next game, Detroit at Indianapolis. Detroit minus 7.5. Over under 50.5.
Detroit beat the shit out of Jacksonville this weekend. I don't see them hitting those numbers again, but I do see Detroit winning. Detroit under.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit under.
I mean, AR's come back looking good. I'm going to go with the upfield. Indianapolis over, yeah.
All right. New England at Miami. Miami minus 7. Over under 46.5.
I'm going to go Miami under.
I want to go Miami under too, man.
I'm going New England over, yeah.
Tampa Bay at New York Giants. Tampa Bay minus 5.5. Over under 41.5.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I'm going to go under again.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I'm going to go over.
I got New York Giants under, yeah.
Oh, man. Dallas at Washington. Washington minus 10.5. Over under 45.5.
Yeah, Washington over.
I'm going to go Washington under.
I'm Dallas over, yeah. I love Cooper Rouge.
Man. Kansas City at Carolina. KC minus 11. Over under 41.5.
KC over.
KC over as well.
I'm not that dumb. I'm going KC over, yeah.
All right. Tennessee at Houston. Houston minus 7.5. 42.5 over under.
I like Houston, man. I see them doing the over.
I'm going to go Houston over.
Tennessee under, yeah.
I got Denver at Las Vegas. Denver minus 5.5. 41.5 over under.
Man, Denver could stay on course, man. I think they can do well. Denver over.
I'm gonna go Denver under.
Las Vegas over, yeah.
Man, this record real bad. San Francisco at Green Bay. Green Bay minus 2.5. Over under 47.5.
Ooh, Green Bay's the favorite. I'm gonna go San Fran on this, and I'm gonna go under.
I'll go San Fran over.
Green Bay under, yeah.
And Arizona at Seattle. Arizona minus 1. Over under 47.5.
God, it's crazy that AZ is a favorite. I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna go Arizona over.
Seattle over, yeah.
Philadelphia at Los Angeles Rams. Minus 3 Philly. 50.5 over under.
I like Philly. I like the under.
I like Philly with under as well.
LA Rams over, yeah.
Monday, November 25th. Thanksgiving week, baby. I think I worked one day that week, man. One day.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to put all my shit in. So, what do you think?
Who's the team again? Did we say the team? I was.
Oh, did I not? My bad. I'm sorry. Baltimore at Los Angeles Chargers. Minus 3, 50.5 over under.
I like Baltimore, man, and I like the over on that one.
I know Baltimore with the under.
Los Angeles with the over, yeah.
That's it for week 12.
Don't say it.
Wow, don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
God, that's a good song. Crunchy Black.
Woo, 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 woo. I wonder where
Ain't nothing going on.
Crunchy Black. Crunchy Black.
But the money and power, I got one in the chamber for you. We get out. And I'm tired of you. That's crazy, yeah.
Man, already ready for the weekend. I gotta do another long drive time fucking trip tomorrow. That's gonna be Boaz, Fort Payne,
Oh,
Scottsboro. That's another one I can't even think of. Yeah,
I know you don't like that driving shit, do you?
I'm right now. It's not even that. It's more along the lines of like there's just You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I've like maxed the job out. Like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can do. But I'm looking for stuff like, but there's just nothing out there that catches my eye either. So I don't know, man. It's kind of at a crossroads right now when it comes to the job shit, man. Just doing enough so I don't get so I don't get fucking canned and I still get a check. But I mean, it's really easy money, man. It's just not. It's I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be honest with yourself, and I think I'm not in the same boat. I'm okay where I work. This is actually probably one of the better companies I've been with for my industry, and they're good. But I've tried to learn how to manage my schedule where it benefits me the most. I guess it's basically what anybody does, man. I mean, Mondays and Fridays, I try to work. I don't want to say I try to work as little as possible. I don't, but I just know how Mondays are. I'm busy from the weekend trying to catch up on stuff around here, so I try to put in 4-6 hours, something like that, when I can. And same for Friday, because I want to start my weekend and enjoy my time with my family. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, man, I try to make up those hours a little bit. But I try to grind it, though, man. I kind of like having an absolute, I guess, a finite amount of work to do. I mean, if I catch up on all my work, there's nothing else coming in, I'm done. So that's nice at times. And this time of the year, it's usually the case. It's been a little busier past week. The week before wasn't, but I'm trying to work it like that, man. Like today, I did enough to make it a productive day, but I didn't do anything above and beyond. Tomorrow, probably will go and try to catch up on all my work for the week and prepare myself. I'm actually off Friday, so yeah, probably get on it the next 2 or 3 days and enjoy my Friday.
Oh yeah, yeah, baby, yeah. Oh man, wandering her on down tonight, folks. God, hope you guys have a great week coming up. Jay Liggy, you have any final thoughts and or quotations before we get up out of here tonight?
Man, I did, and I think I lost my quotations list. Let me see. Oh my God, I've got a good one. Revelation 20:10, and the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever.
All right. Nice. Whis, what about you?
I hope Vibe burns in the lake of eternal fire, yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Damn, what did I start?
Well, folks, it's another Monday night in the books. How about you enjoyed the show? Tune in next week, 9:30 in the Dirty. Everybody has a podcast. Check out the old episodes. If you go to episode number 1, oh man, it was way different. Pretty shitty, actually. But you can see the progression. Check those out. You'll have some laughs. Also, I think we might do something a little bit different on the next episode. I might do a horror story. Maybe The Meat Man Chronicles Chapter 1. We'll see. Yeah, that might be fun. Hope all you guys have a great weekend coming up. Get out there and do some exploring, folks. We'll see you back here 9:30 in the Dirty Central Time. Everybody has a podcast. We love you guys. Have a great night.